Well, good afternoon, Vincent faculty. Welcome to the English Language Arts and Reading Teach Like a Champ presentation. Our department is exploring Part 2 for you. Part 2 includes academic ethos, setting high academic expectations, planning for success, lesson structure, and pacing. Let's get started. Coming up first is Section 3.
Good morning, and this is Ms. Johnson. Setting high academic expectations. Technique 11, no opt-out. Turn I don't know into a success by helping students who won't try or can't succeed practice getting it right and being accountable for trying.
Let's take a look at this technique. Okay, go ahead, you can put the technique. Go ahead, put the technique up. Put the technique up.
No, not Jesus. Help him out, Emmanuel. No, like we talked about him yesterday. Who was the other one? Isabella? Moses. Who was it, Emmanuel? Moses. Who was it, Damien? Awesome. Moses. The greatest.
Setting high academic expectations. My technique is right is right. When you respond to answers in class, hold out for answers that are all the way right or all the way to your standards of rigor. Have a great day, Miss Wright. T. Wright.
Let's watch.
Real technical definition instead of just cubes. What we're going to say is. Or any sort of three-dimensional figure. I'm going to say the amount of cubic, not inches, because it's not necessarily inches, right? It could be feet, it could be centimeters, it could be yards, units, right? Cubic units. And then, as you said, that a figure takes up, that an object.
Technique 13, stretch it. Reward right answers with harder questions.
Here's a clip.
Stretch it is that the sequence of learning does not end with the right answer. Reward right answers with follow-up questions that extend knowledge and test for reliability.
Hi, I'm Ms. Domain. I'm going to be reading Technique 14, Format Matters. Help your students practice responding in a format that communicates the worthiness of their ideas.
Let's take a look.
The clue is flu. Excellent.
So it got to be the one that.
It gots to be?
Oh, it has to be the one, a furry animal with wings.
Excellent, Shakir. Anything else about that word you want to tell me? Javante?
It got an EB and James got an
It has a, what do we call these word parts we put on the end of a word? It has a suffix, and the suffix is? Good.
Hi, Ms. Domain again. Technique 15, without apology. Embrace rather than apologize for rigorous content, academic challenge, and the hard work necessary to scholarship.
Let's see this in action.
Don't ever make your expectations of a class your students. In the hands of a really good teacher who can find the way in, the material students need to master to succeed and grow is exciting, interesting, and even inspiring. Even if as teachers we sometimes doubt that we can make it so. Try and remember that you are giving your students something very valuable. Not just education, but your time. Don't pander to them by making the material seem smaller than it really is.
Next up, you're going to be hearing from more of our staff as we explore Section 4, Planning for Success.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Wright. I'm Miss Wright, and I'm doing Technique 16, Begin with the End. Progress from unit planning to lesson planning. Define the objective, decide how you'll assess it, and then choose appropriate lesson activities.
Let's watch.
One is to plan from the top down. Until I began to think of my lessons as part of a larger unit that developed ideas intentionally and incrementally towards mastery of larger concepts, I was only treading water. Step 2 is to refine and perfect the lesson objectives based on the degree of mastery from the day before. Students need to be driven a day at a time toward the mastery of larger concepts.
There are 4 criteria for an effective lesson plan objective: manageable, measurable, made first, and most important.
Here's a clip.
Can this actually get done in my class? Is there the institutional knowledge and know-how in your students to proceed at this rapid a rate, at this speed in the curriculum? Ask yourself, is this an objective or an activity? If it's an activity, what's the purpose? Is it helping you to achieve your objective? Ask yourself, is this the best way to help my students understand? If so, great. If not, if it's not the most important and the most effective way of reaching your objective, of reinforcing their understanding, get rid of it.
This is English rock star Mr. Diggles. My focus was Technique 18, posted. Display your lesson objectives where everyone can see it and identify your purpose.
Let's watch.
Your objective not only reminds you what you're trying to accomplish, but it gives your students the correct framework through which they should view activities. You should be posting your objective in the same place every day. I recommend your bulletin board or somewhere on the top of the whiteboard. Students, teachers, administrators, everybody should know where to look to find out what you're doing in the class that day.
Technique 19, double plan. As you plan your lesson, plan what your students will be doing at each point in class.
That was absolutely amazing. Isn't our department wonderful? Way to go. All right, let's keep going. Now we're going to explore lesson structure, section 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Mrs. Head. Technique 20, do now. Use a short warm-up activity that students can complete without instruction or direction from you to start class every day. This lets learning start even before you begin teaching. Technique 21, name the steps. Break down complex tasks into simple steps that form a path for student mastery.
So who's up next? Well, it's me, Heather Walton, the 7th grade reading teacher at Vincent Middle School. I'm going to be discussing the technique number 22, board to paper. Model and shape how students should take notes in order to capture the information that you're presenting. Next up is technique 23, control the game. Ask students to read out loud frequently, but manage the process to ensure expressiveness, accountability, and engagement is taking place.
Hi, my name is Pamela Bradford. I'm a 6th grade reading teacher here at Vincent Middle School. The strategy that I will be discussing is circulate. Move strategically around the room during all parts of the lesson.
Here's a clip.
The plane of your classroom is the imaginary line that runs the length of the classroom, parallel to and about 5 feet in front of the board, usually about where the first student's desk starts. Many new teachers are hesitant to break the plane and move past this imaginary barrier and out among the desks and the rows, into the people, if you will. It is important to try to break the plane within the first 5 minutes or so of every class. You want to make it clear to students that you own the room, that it's normal for you to go anywhere you want in the classroom at any time.
Technique number 25, at bats. Because succeeding once or twice at a skill won't bring mastery, give your students lots of practice, mastering knowledge and skills.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Rogers, and this is technique number 26, exit ticket. End each class with an explicit assessment of your objective that you can use to evaluate your and your students' success. Thank you.
Well, hello there. No, it's not time for intermission, but just wanted to let you know that we're moving on to our next section, which is number 6, pacing. Enjoy. So as we begin pacing, the technique that I'm going to be going over for Miss Rito. Sorry guys, I know that everyone would love to be hearing her voice right now, but she's in training, so you're just going to have to hear me instead. I'll try my best to do her justice. So her technique is 27. It's change the pace. Establish a productive pace in your classroom. Create fast or slow moments in a lesson by shifting activity types or formats. Another technique that Ms. Rito would like to go over for you is technique 28, brighten lines. Ensure that change in activities and other mileposts are perceived clearly by making beginnings and endings of activities visible and crisp. Another technique we need to discuss is technique 29, all hands. Leverage hand raising to positively impact pacing. Manage and vary the ways that students raise their hands, as well as the methods you use to call on them. Let's watch the example.
The champions limit the amount of time when corrected students are on stage with other eyes on them. Here, Bob manages to move the class's attention to something positive almost immediately after a public correction.
I don't have Marissa, but I do have Jasmine.
All of which gets you to the point where you can move your students from behave to believe to achieve.
Technique 30. We got to work very hard. Work the clock. Measure time, your greatest resource as a teacher, intentionally, strategically, and often visible to shape both your and your students' experience in the classroom. Let's not forget, Mustang staff, technique 31, every minute matters. Respect students' time by spending every minute productively. Well, folks, it's time to wrap up. This is the end of our presentation. We hope you learned so much, and we look forward to discussing any questions that you have. Oh, we're done? Hope you enjoyed it.